Hey guys. Hey guys, can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me guys clearly? I hope you guys can hear me clearly. Oh, with this Instagram lag. Let me see. Yeah. Hi, how are you? How's everyone? Sorry, I don't know if my internet is bad or good, but it might be a little laggy today. So if it is, I slightly apologize because I'm not at home. I'm actually outside. So if it lags a little bit, apologies. But today we're going to do a nice, what do you call that, connecting the dots session. Basically a simple finance talk session with two people from the industry. Okay. So don't worry about that. Video clarity is not that good. I know, I think it is slightly low, but it'll keep fluctuating between good and bad. So don't worry about that. Right? But how's everyone? How's everyone during the weekend? Are you guys enjoying, relaxing, having fun? Yeah. Everyone's chilling? I hope so. No stress in life, no? Awesome. No, I think I'm in a bad internet zone, so I can't help it. This was the fastest place I could get it. But thoda blur mein dekhna padega aaj, I think. But don't worry, I'm gonna get two extremely amazing speakers on stage. One sec. Hey, hi, how are you?
Hi, Shashank. I'm good. How are you doing?
All good, man, all good. How are you? How's your weekend?
Weekend. It's good, but I prefer to work as well on Saturdays somehow. It's only Sunday for me, which I actually keep for myself.
Oh, wow. What are you doing today, though? What's in your agenda? What's in
Uh,
your plan?
Actually, I'm preparing a course. Like I have one course already, but I'm preparing a price action course. So pretty busy with that.
Okay, awesome. I think people
Yeah.
can't hear me. You can hear me, right? I think a lot of people can't hear me for
Yeah,
some reason. Can you guys hear me? People are
I can
saying
hear
I'm
you
not
pretty.
audible. Okay, let me just. I know this AirPod sometimes. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but then now
Okay, I
your
think this
voice
is
is
fine.
pretty. Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, awesome. So today we're going to do a simple finance session. We're also going to call. I'm just waiting for one more person to join in, who's Anshuman. I've
Mhm.
done a few sessions with Anshuman in the past. He's also like quite brilliant when it comes to finances, right? And he's doing a lot of things in the financial space as well, right?
Oh, wow.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about yourself, man. I think some people might not be aware because I think we're doing this session for the first time. So can you tell me your story of finance? Like, how did you reach this point, right?
Right. So my story begins just like anyone who is very fascinated with the entire stock market concept. Okay. So when I passed out from my 10th standard, okay, that is where I had this in my mind that I want to do something in the world of stock markets for sure. And obviously my family, like not everyone's family is pretty inclined towards stock market as it's considered to be as gambling and everything. So what I decided was that okay, I'll earn my money and I'll try it out. I'll go ahead and make mistakes and probably learn from wherever possible. So once I finished my 10th standard, I started working and I started, saving up a capital for investments. And at the same time, I was also keen on knowing about these companies' fundamentals and researching about them. I read a couple of books. So I read about the most important book that really touched me or changed my perspective about investments was Common Stocks, Uncommon Profits. So I read that book and I
Okay.
started to understand about companies. And at the same time, I was working and also learning different skills like, selling primarily. So my first job was all about learning to sell over the counter. And post that, I completed my education, funded my own self, and gradually got into. Uh, Once I passed out from my college, I decided I want to do it full time. So I joined an office, or rather, I started my own office in BSC building. So I was working with my uncle, and we used to handle, clients' accounts, and I used to do my own trading and be in the circle as such because we had all these people from the BSC building who were right in the game. So this people, we used to sit once the day got over, we used to hang around in the evening and talk about different market perspectives and learn a lot practically. So that's where I decided that this is the thing which I'm going to be in forever. So lots and lots of mistakes made, lots of learning, and it was going on very well until I blew my account a couple of times, and then again recouped everything, and again we are back into the game.
Awesome. So hey Anshuman, I think Anshuman's also joined in here.
Hey.
Hey Anshuman, how are you?
Hi guys, all good,
Hi,
all good,
Anshuman.
all good. Hi Sushant, this is the
Sorry,
first
man,
time we
I'm
are
actually,
interacting.
Exactly. This is the first time we all are interacting, and I'm really excited to talk to you all. Like, come on, getting to know you also.
Yeah, we have interacted in the past, me and
Yeah.
Shashank. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to this.
Great.
Yeah, I don't think we've done a live. I think we just did it on the Scenes app, right? I don't think did we do a live.
yeah.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
This is my first Instagram live ever.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
Nice. So
I
this
don't
is
prefer to go
very,
live on Instagram.
Why, dude?
मतलब first standard के भी friends है, someone I met in my office like 5 years. मतलब everyone from all walks of life are on Instagram, so I get very conscious. But ठीक है, there is a first
Dude,
time for everything.
My friends are also on Instagram. They keep coming on every live and they do Bakchoti on the live as well. So I'm pretty used to it right now.
Of
And
course,
you can't
of
tell
course.
them anything because they're your best friends.
Never.
Yeah. Okay, so today basically we're just going to do a very chill session on finance. Okay, we'll just talk about what's happening in the current market. Moreover, as for people to actually understand कि अभी क्या चल रहा है market में. And I think the first point I want to start with, right, which I think is on everyone's mind, is what's going to happen on Monday, Tuesday, right, with the Zomato IPO. So what's going to happen with the Zomato IPO? I want your take on it. Both of your take. What do you guys think? And then I'll talk about what I think at the end.
Okay,
Anyone
Anshuman, you
can
go first.
Yeah, I'm as an investor, I always look for companies which have very high competitive advantage, right? But right now, as Indians, if someone asks, what's your favorite food delivery app? Their answer will be the one which gives me the higher discount. That's it. There's no preference as such, right? And there is like a solid competition between the top two. Everyone's burning a lot of cash, but the profit generation has not yet started. So personally, I mean, the hype is real, but as an investor, I might be a little cautious about this particular IPO.
Right. So yesterday itself, like, I had this question asked to my followers as well as to what they think about the Zomato IPO. Personally, being an investor, Zomato as a brand really stands out. It's got everything going for it. But as an investor, if we look at the practical aspect of things, which is business and margins, profits, that is not in place. So I personally don't like any company which is in negative territory. Even for listed companies, I look for profit or a healthy profit margin. So this is a company which has got nothing on its side. And coming at a valuation which is even more than Jubilant FoodWorks, like really it tells a lot about the current euphoria in the market. So I remember, yeah. Can you hear me, guys? Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
So I remember during my early times, there was this IPO which came out, R Power. And there was this entire marketing going for it, that power on, what is it? So India on, something like that. And everyone was so hell-bent on buying or applying for this IPO that they cared least about the fact that this company does not even operate anything. It's going to start functioning in 2016. And Indians had given out 11,000 crores to Anil Ambani, which, God knows where it went. And the company is still not functioning. Like, it's not functioning the way it was supposed to do. And now they're into NCLT and everything.
There were record Demat account openings for that particular IPO.
Absolutely, yes. And that shows the kind of FOMO it was, prevalent in the market then. There were a lot of companies which came out like that. Even JP Power, Adani Power, all these power companies and infrastructure companies were, coming out with immaculate and absurd valuations. I was like, what are people even thinking? And I remember there were a few friends of mine who had called me then that they wanted to apply for the IPO, and irrespective of what happened, they did not know about the company. They did not even want to think about what the company does. All they asked me was that, Sushant, do you think ये double हो जाएगा listing के दिन? I said, भाई ये listed तो दूर की बात है, company के हाथ पैर नहीं है. They don't even have chairs and tables on their name right now. How can you think of investing in it? They're like, everyone is doing it, man. Come on, I should also do it. I said, see, if that's the reason you want to invest, I think you should not do it. If you find that the company probably will improve in the near future, then yes, you can invest and take that risk. So Zomato right now, for me, having seen that kind of euphoria earlier, I feel is purely the hype that it is, going through. And trust me, it is just the name that we hear. What amount of money do they make on every delivery? 40, 50 rupees probably. And they do certain amount of, and what about the incentives that they give to their staff, and what about the attrition rate? We don't think about those things right now. Even Burger King came out with an absurd valuation, but the listing gain probably justified everything. But what happened later? There were people who entered even after the listing happened, and they entered at 200 feeling the FOMO. And what did they happen? They just see the price at 150 and probably it won't move for the next whatever years. Because even now when they declared results, it was negative. So yeah, it is sometimes it is okay to go against the popular trend. I feel I've always done that. But yeah, there are better opportunities, much better opportunities even in listed players right now, which can give you 10, 20, 50% in the next year or so. But we want 50% on the next day. So you can't beat that, right?
Yeah. And more than that, even if a company is not generating profit as of now, but if they have a solid advantage, which will ensure that this company will go on to build something very big, then it makes sense. But here, the competition is so intense and customers are not sticky at all. Our only thing is who will deliver faster and who will give me the highest discount. And even if you look at the demographic, Zomato and Swiggy is almost like 55, 45, 50, 50 ऐसा ही चलते रहता है पूरा टाइम. तो मतलब कुछ ऐसा डिफरेंशिएटिंग फैक्टर नहीं है कि कौन है ऐसा प्लेयर जो 10 साल बाद भी no one knows. 10 years later, Zomato might be the only one remaining, but Swiggy also might be the one. मतलब कोई अभी कुछ भी नहीं बचा ही नहीं है, वो सीन है, कोई अभी एडवांटेज नहीं है. So and that is
exactly even margin of safety. Where do you find that?
Yeah. No, I'm actually worried about this another company that's coming in the space that's trying to beat Swiggy and Zomato. Do you guys know what it is?
Amazon.
Who it is?
Amazon,
Delivery?
right?
Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Even Amazon's coming in. I don't know.
No,
Amazon has started in Bangalore.
Amazon's coming in.
Yeah.
They're doing So now they've only started in Bangalore to only their employees, not to everyone else.
Yeah.
They're doing a pilot. They've already onboarded a bunch of restaurants apparently. And I'm more worried about this because when Amazon comes in and with their bandwidth distribution, their advantage on Amazon Pay, discounts, I mean, the broad scheme of spectrum things that they have, I mean, maybe it won't happen now. Maybe after 2 years or maybe after 2.5 years, you'll see the impact of Amazon food delivery coming into the picture with the number of ads that they'll actually run, right? At that
Absolutely.
point, how will Zomato, Swiggy, and Amazon fight? And again, if you're telling me that at 2 years later, if Zomato and Swiggy now have to still fight, that means if they fight, they'll still be net negative, right? They won't have a profit. They're still playing the discount game. The only way that Swiggy and Zomato can win is we both shake hands and say, you know what, everyone's dependent on us. Thoda kam kar de. Let's increase the delivery cost. Let's be unit economic positive, and let's all make money together. That's the only way I see them succeeding. But if Amazon comes in, another 2 years of discounts. In the end, we'll win, obviously. But this
Of
game
Yeah.
will
course.
start again. That's what I think.
So we as
So I don't know what's
consumers
going to
win,
happen
but as
long-term
investors,
perspective.
no.
We as consumers are
Yeah,
constantly
exactly.
winning since the last 2-3 years. और अब तो retail में भी same होने वाला है. Even like with JioMart and Zomato is now buying Grofers. Like it's
Yeah.
almost there. And then there is Amazon.
Yeah.
Because of all these things, now we'll get discount for like daily grocery staples as well. So customer तो जीत ही
So
रहा
what's
है
your
ये
take on
online.
Farm Easy? What's your take on Farm
What?
Easy? They're doing massive acquisitions left, right, center. Farm Easy.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Farm
They
Easy?
got Thyrocare
They're doing
easily. Yeah, they got
acquisitions.
Thyron.
Yeah. Now they want to do an IPO as well. What is this new trend where now Ola came out with the news that they're going to do an IPO as well. Paytm came out with this news that they're going to come with IPO as well. Now, okay, Paytm still makes a lot of revenue, so they can always switch off that tap and become profitable in like a second, right? Ola also, I'm not sure, but they might be profit. But if you had an option to actually invest in this, what would you choose? Farm Easy, Ola, and Paytm. What would you invest?
I would go for Farm Easy and Paytm in that order. I mean, not Ola.
I wouldn't invest in Paytm anymore because Paytm has lost the UPI battle, and because of UPI's existence, the wallet market is out. The wallet
Yeah.
is like a two-step process. UPI is a one-step process. So I'm eliminating Paytm. Ola and Farm Easy mein, I don't know the numbers, but if we just look at the like, I know Ola more than Farm Easy, so that's the preference. But yeah, there's no logic as such because उन दोनों companies के मेरे को numbers पता ही नहीं है.
So Farm Easy took over Thyrocare easily. So now they are
Okay.
kind of integrating everything together, and they're gonna build up on that integrated platform, wherein they can serve medicines, diagnostics, and probably even going forward, you can expect medical services given online, like how Practo works. So the concept here probably is building a niche or super app in a particular segment and probably monopolize it in the future. And these guys obviously these private equities, when they come in the behind any company, they have a strong and a very deep pocket. They have strong expertise. They know the markets in and out, and they have the vision, because what we are seeing right now is probably a replication of what has happened in the US or in European countries. So they have been there, done that. They know what challenges they can face. They might try to adapt to the Indian environment and then come up with something or the other. But then, yeah, it's a long, hard, and tough battle to fight. Someone or the other will win. Paytm as well is getting into brokerage. They're getting into education as well with Paytm Money. So all these guys, they're trying to build their own ecosystem, just like how Apple works, and they want to feed their customer everything in that genre, like Zerodha as well. They have their entire ecosystem built for any customer who enters Zerodha.
So one player who is very exciting in this space, it's a very new player in this space, is trying to build a super app. And Tata recently acquired a majority stake in Big Basket. And they are also fighting to get their own retail place. They also have Tata Click. Now with Zomato, now with Big Basket, they are also planning on building a super app and with their distribution. Because firstly, they have distribution and they have the trust of the society. हम नमक भी वहां से खरीदते हैं, हम घड़ी भी वहां से खरीदते हैं और हम गाड़ी भी वहां से खरीदते हैं. So for them to acquire customers for new products won't be very difficult because these guys have been existing for the last 100 years in India. So that also is very exciting for me. And I feel like the retail battle is between three players: Walmart, Amazon, and Tata and Reliance.
Reliance, Reliance is very, very big.
Four players. So this is going to be interesting.
I think Tata is something that I'm very, very bullish on Tata for the future, because even the Tata Elxsi is now become my new favorite, because the way they're integrating themselves everywhere with respect to what's coming next, 5G, electric vehicles,
AI,
they're getting ready for the next
yes.
wave. They're not. It's mind-blowing, and they're so, I mean, in my opinion, looking at the long-term perspective, they're very undervalued right now. That I think they're at 25,000 market cap or 30,000 market cap right now. But the potential of what 5G will bring, what electric vehicle segment will bring with and they're like poised to win the EV space, right? Tata Motors for EV, Tata
Yeah,
Power for
yeah.
charging stations, Tata Chemicals for lithium-ion battery, Tata Elxsi for the what do you call that software, uh, Tata Consumer Products for the Starbucks at the charging station. Dude,
Hmm.
it's insane, right? If you actually think about it with respect to the margin play, they'll be the cheapest
Yeah.
provider out there because everything's there and they're actually monopolizing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There will be other players, yes. I'm
No, but
very,
you
very
can't.
bullish on Tata.
Yeah.
And yeah,
One
No,
cannot
no,
beat
Tata.
the
no,
legend,
even
the what do you
Ola,
say,
right?
the legacy that these guys have created.
And
That gives them a
legacy
hats
Yeah,
off.
plus
yeah.
constant revamp, constant revamp. They are pivoting
True.
and revamping, pivoting and revamping. If you look at Tata Motors' ka line, the range in the last 5 years, they have literally taken inspiration from JLR, Jaguar Land Rover, and giving that in like 15-20 lakh range. If you look at their 15-20 lakh SUVs,
Hmm.
they look very premium, and it's inspired from JLR, which they acquired like 10-12 years back. So Tata Motors, I feel, and secondly, the cheapest electric car, EV car, is also from Tata, right? Tata Tiago, I think. That's for
Ah,
4-5 lakhs. So
Yeah.
not aware of that.
Tata Motors is very futuristic. I'm very bullish on it personally.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay, so guys, for other people in the chat, if you guys have any questions, you can put it there. We can answer some questions as well if you have any questions related to finance, right? Obviously, we won't do stock recommendations and things like that, but we will definitely talk about what's happening in the market, right? Now, what do you guys think is happening in the market right now? Because I don't know how many of you are tracking the global markets with respect to US, but the Fed just said that they will actually change the rates in 2023. Do you think that will affect India? And how? How do you think
Of
that will
course, it
play?
will affect, but will it happen or no? That is something to be pondered upon, because the US Fed
Hmm.
has begun on a journey right from 2000 onwards, where they find only one solution to every financial problem, and that is reducing interest rates. So it is drilled in their heads that whatever happens, no matter what, we have to reduce interest rates. We need to keep it at near zero, keep on stimulating the economy by printing more money. So I think it's a very tough task if it has to happen. But if it does happen, provided what has already happened in the
Hmm.
past almost 20 years, the amount of money printing that has happened, it can lead to what happened in 1929. That is the Great Depression. It was because of constant interest rates hike that the Fed did, not looking at what is happening in the economy. So if they do, it's going to be very detrimental to what we are seeing right now, and we are in a euphoric mood. So any pin that will prick the
Hmm.
balloon, it will burst big time. That's what I feel.
My take is, yeah, even I agree with Sushant. I don't think the governments will increase the interest rate in any time soon. Reason being, in the fourth quarter of this year, we were like we were on the path of recovery, and the consumption had gone up. But because of the second wave, consumption has again been affected, and a lot of people have lost their jobs. So now, if they increase the interest rates, पूरा credit cycle वापस cancel होगा, and they can't
Absolutely.
afford that anytime soon.
Yeah.
So I personally feel this will continue. This euphoria will continue for some time, but just the interest rates बढ़े. I mean, do you know Michael Burry has shorted
Yeah,
20-year
yeah, he's
treasury
sure.
bonds,
Yeah, he has shorted.
second biggest bet, and he's saying that inflation will be so high that government has to make very high steps, take very big steps. And he's saying this is one of the biggest, as this bubble is as big as as he said, Great Depression. So yeah, next
Michael
2 years
Burry is
are
also
Yeah,
just
actually,
shorted
that was my
Tesla.
next question. Inflation. Like, what do you think is what is happening with inflation? When do you think, I mean, it's already high, but what do you think will happen if our consumption is being boosted so much and liquidity is being pumped from everywhere? Like printing money and being pumped is like the new game right now, which obviously has consequences. Everything has a consequence, right? When do you think
Right.
this bubble will burst? I know it's not going to happen tomorrow or day after. It might happen sometime later, but it will trigger something, right? What do you think this inflation? When do you think this inflation will start creating an issue?
honestly, I don't have an answer for that. If I had an answer for that, then today we wouldn't be doing anything. I would be just sitting and I would have shorted with that expiry. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. Who, like, look at any statistician, the best statisticians of the world, right? Could anyone have predicted something like the COVID pandemic? Matlab, you don't know what will act as the trigger. That is the issue. Like, everyone, market का bubble है, that is accepted. But वो bubble कब burst होगा, किस reason की वजह से burst होगा, no one knows.
Yeah, it will always come as a surprise to everyone. In 2008, like Satyam scam, okay, the trigger for that fall in India was Satyam scam. I mean, out of nowhere, Lehman Brothers was one thing happening in US, but in India, what triggered the crash was Satyam scam. And out of nowhere, this guy comes up and apologizes, saying that, okay, I have been creating a lot of fake salary accounts and a lot of fake hirings and everything. I mean, like, out of nowhere, what changed his consciousness there? So we will always be caught. As a surprise, because we are never prepared for the worst. We always prepare for the best. When we invest, we think, okay, everything is going to be hunky dory. Let us invest now. We might miss the bus, like what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And primarily, the trigger, as we just discussed, could be the federal, even a tapered talk. Even that mentioning that, okay, we are thinking of doing it in the next week by probably 0.01%. Even that will create panic in people's mind, because they have been leveraging so much. Everyone's riding the wave big time, and we are doing it on a very small scale. But these hedge funds, these institutions, when they take leverage or when they go into something, they go all in, and that will cause that spiral to affect us. Inflation affecting us, see, it has always affected us. We can't see it because it's a very slow poison. It is not going to happen that tomorrow you go to the shop and see, "Arey, aaj bread ka price is like 20 times." It won't happen to us like that. But gradually we'll observe that, okay, 100 grams is reduced to 80, then 75, 74, 71. The grams have been reduced. The prices probably more or less are near the same level, like 5 ka 6 to 7. So inflation affecting us is a very slow thing. It will affect us gradually. It is already affecting us. The major thing to look at is the real estate prices. Why real estate prices in India are so high, or Mumbai specifically are so high? Inflation affects in bits and parts. So these guys know if inflation is going to hit, they want to park their money somewhere which is going to not fall down as much as other things. So they go into real estate, they go into gold. So that is how it works. We as retail people, we don't have a lot of vision in terms of investing as well. We have a very short mindset that, looking at prices or looking at, but these global scenarios, looking at the broader picture, it takes a lot of digging deep into a lot of knowledge, a lot of information around us. Like, for example, I'll tell you, like, I don't know if many people know that Russia is going away from US dollars. Russia's wealth fund, it is diverting its assets from dollar denominated assets to euro, gold, even China's yuan, and that is reducing gradually. But the talk of this is happening right from 2008. Like, if many people were aware of that or no, but the de-dollarization of the economy, people wanting to, like even Libya's Gaddafi, I mean, don't want to get into conspiracy stuff, trust me guys, but then the thing is, these presidents, whoever wants to go against the establishment, against the dollarization of the economies, they are being targeted. So what happens is, this is real. De-dollarization is real. The reason US owns the world is because of petrodollar. And they will not let that hegemony go away from them. Like, nobody lets their monopoly go away just like that. So Russia getting into de-dollarization, China doing that. China and Japan are the world's largest treasury holders. When they start dumping, if they see that their US interest rates are negative for a long time, they're not getting any assets, any returns on their assets, that is, what they will do is they will start getting into other countries, they will start getting into other currencies, they will get into gold. Russia is already getting into gold big time. And they will start buying up countries altogether. Like, China is literally buying up countries in Africa or in Venezuela. They're buying assets which are humongous. New York's major real estate is owned by Chinese now. Chinese people are investing big time there. But we will not see all these things happening. We need to dig deep into the information available. And that takes a lot of efforts, which is difficult, but then yeah.
But you mentioned real estate, right? That
Yeah.
I expected real estate prices to go up because home loan rates are at like 15-year low.
Yes.
But the problem here
Lowest.
is that
Yeah.
all the banks are very, very careful right now. They do not want to, affect their credit quality, and that's why even like people want to take loans, but banks are not giving out loans. So SBI has a target of 10% like 10% growth of loan book rate
Mhm.
this year, and they are saying we are fine. We are fine to not hit that target, but we are not affecting our credit quality anymore because they have seen that everyone has seen
Yeah.
and everyone has learned from the COVID pandemic that if you keep giving on loans to people, the NPAs will go up. So
Right.
right now, in these scenarios, when the loan rates are low, their monthly growth rate is at 5 to 6%, which is lower than the pre-pandemic period, where home
Oh.
loans were at 9.5, and right now it starts at 6.8. So, and that's why real estate prices in Mumbai are not going up. Like it was, of course, we expected that it will go up, but ho nahi raha hai wo cheez. But
Yeah. No,
having
they're
said that,
growing. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
yeah, and also FMCG, right? All the FMCG players have announced that they have to increase the price of their products, and they have also said that we have seen a very big increase in the prices of our products or of our raw
Raw
materials.
materials. Yes.
रॉ मटेरियल तो वो बोल रहे कि 1-2 साल में तो बहुत ज्यादा प्राइसेस बढ़ने ही वाले हैं और वो बोल रहे 5-10 रुपए का जो प्रोडक्ट्स है उसमें प्रॉब्लम ही हो रहा है कि एक लेवल के नीचे दे कैन नॉट रिड्यूस द क्वांटिटी सो दैट्स अ वेरी बिग चैलेंज फॉर देम कि ये 5-10 रुपए वाले पैकेट्स में क्या किया जाए
Okay.
Yeah, I think we saw that with Amul, right? Increasing their prices also by 2 rupees across because a lot of raw materials and transport costs were all increasing. Obviously, petrol rates are increasing, so everything will come
Exactly.
from a cost push thing. Everything gets pushed on to the consumer at the end of the day. But consumer also has a lot of money now to spend, so they don't care about it. The only people that are actually losing right now are the lower income group, right? Because the daily wage workers. Because
Right.
for them it's very less, increment on their actual salary, right? The daily wage workers. So for them, maybe kerosene or 2 rupees extra on milk is very expensive. But I mean, that's always the disparity that has sadly been there, right? Now, what do
Yeah.
you think the normal retail investor should do? Because we know what's happening in the market. There's a lot of euphoria. But also it's not like, okay, don't invest right now, just sit with your money in your
Of
bank
course.
because then that's useless. You don't know when the next trigger is. Would you do it in a smart way where you are not too leveraged on the
Yeah.
market? Yeah.
No, I think we missed your question because it lagged.
There was a bit
No, I
lag.
think my question is, what would you do what would you do if you were a normal retail investor with the current market, which is in a euphoria right now? Because you don't want to keep your money in the bank, you lose your money, but you still want to be a part of the stock market. So how would you take this thing, right?
So most of the retail investors, like a lot of retail investors, started investing after the pandemic, during the pandemic, because of increase in time and because of all these events happening. So first thing is expectation setting. People have to set the right expectations and accept that this year is not normal for the stock markets. ये एक बार हो गया है, but हर बार every IPO will give you 50%. This is not something normal. So I feel right expectation setting, and then understanding that time is the only antidote to volatility. As you are invested in the market for longer and longer period, the odds of generating positive returns increases. अगर ये चीज समझ आ गई और राइट एक्सपेक्टेशंस होगा कि हाँ 12-13% एज अ पैसिव इन्वेस्टर इज फाइन and holding it for a longer period is the only way to make money if you are not a full-time investor, then they are set. Basically psychology level पे करना है. That's my recommendation.
What I suggest now, like, see, when I started TikTok, okay, I have been suggesting from 2020. I started my YouTube channel then, and that is when I said that this is the perfect time to start. Okay, but a lot of people, obviously, even maverick investors, they felt that this is an unusual situation. So not many people were full in or all out. But now the thing is completely reversed. Everyone is excited, and that is the problem. you shouldn't be excited about investing. You should be, you should be aware about investing. What you're taking, or rather, what you're doing is a risk management stuff. You're putting in your hard-earned money for something which will fetch you returns over and above the capital. Okay, but when you're excited, you're going all in without being rational about it. That is when you take emotional decisions. So personally, I am a trader. I do short-term intraday swing, passive investments. I have a different. We have educated ourselves for that. So not everybody educates themselves. So the first thing that everyone should do right now is, instead of investing, should start getting educated, looking at things in the right perspective. Because see, everything is a phase. ये भी जो phase है चला जाएगा. इसके बाद आने वाला जो crash होगा, या फिर crash नहीं बोलूँगा, but any correction or any kind of bearish sentiment also will be only timely. It won't last forever. So you need to get educated into knowing things, having the right perspective, investing with the right RR in your mind, and being independent. If you can develop the skill of being an independent investor, trader for that matter, then the odds to work in your favor increase big time. For example, I have a Telegram channel, okay, where I share my ideas, my intraday trades, if my swing trading ideas or whatever. And a lot of times what happens is people look at that idea as a tip, okay. Sometimes I tell them that I have invested, sometimes I just say that this is something I've observed. So they go all in with it, and then it doesn't work immediately for them. And they get a little upset, saying that, okay, oh shit, I lost money. Although that is money lost is still notional, it is not booked yet. What happened is, if they had waited, okay, giving time to their investments, that investments would have at least given them 25-30% return. I personally have booked 100% return also. I'm in fact still in the position. But some people message that we have entered and it's going down. So only an educated person will know why something is going down, whether it is a moving average reversion, whether it is a correction, whether it is profit booking. Only an educated person would know. But when you buy something on somebody else's recommendation, not knowing what he has thought before investing, is going to lead you into trouble. So educating yourself is the best investment that one can do right now, considering what has gone. Okay, what do we learn from what has gone? How many of we were actually in that situation? Like personally, we have been in the situation because of our clients, investing for them or giving them ideas or whatever. But everybody is not in that situation. They have seen people being in that situation. They have seen people on YouTube telling them. They have seen probably some friends making money off some investments, but they personally weren't in. Unless and until you are into it, unless and until your money is invested, you will not experience the emotions, the thought process and everything. And for that, develop that, probably going small first, develop the right attitude towards it, educating yourself on timely basis, and there will be a day that you will start taking decisions on yourself. So I don't need anybody else's conviction to tell me, okay, the stock is doing good now, it will do good later also. No. I really enjoy my followers telling me on my stories as well that I'm not going to invest in certain things because I don't find it comfortable. And that is like the best thing to happen to you. If you are comfortable with what your position is, nothing like it. And trust me, I have had situations in my life where I have not lost money, but lost the opportunity to ride big because of not being able to find that conviction. I have seen stocks going up 20 times in my lifetime and not being able to ride that 20 times and not being all happy because I booked 80% or 90%. I'm like, okay, why did I lose? Because I discussed it with somebody else who probably wasn't as educated as I would expect it to be. And he said, "Arey, itna kama liya, abhi becho." And then now we realize, after being in this industry for the last 13 years now, that there are times when you can make 10, 20, 30 times also if you stick to your correct investments. So learning, being in the situation, experiencing things, no matter if you lose a little amount of money, it's fine. You're paying it to the market to teach you something. That's what I believe is the right investment to do.
No, I agree. And I also feel that if you have the right mindset, and if you invest in the worst time possible, let's say you are supremely unlucky as an investor, and you invested all your life savings in January 2008. If you had waited, and if you would have still invested till now, you would have generated a return of 7 to 7.5%. which is still
Sage.
as good as an FD. As the most unlucky time to invest, if you have the right mindset, you will still end up making money. So वो तो है ही. Position से ज़्यादा
Agree.
what you do while holding it is the most important aspect.
And sticking to the
So
quality
what is your
names is
take on
like
this
always the
question that I
safest
put
thing to
below
do.
now?
Which one? Please
So I
enlighten
just
on
put a question. I
Adani's
don't know whether you
business.
guys can see it.
Yeah. Is it about Adani and Tata?
Because that was a big trend. Another nonsense. Yeah, Adani trend that happened. What was your take on that?
See, overvaluation was there, of course. I had shared on my Instagram as well about Adani Gas being so overly valuated in comparison to the other ones which are existing in the market. But when the trend, see, I think of investments in two things. Okay, one is the trend, which is as a trader, and the other is from a fundamental investor. Okay, so if we look at the trend, then Adani stocks had the best trend or have the best trend possible. Okay, especially Adani Enterprise, Adani Ports, even for now is a very good trend trade possible. But if you look at fundamentals, the way Adani groups have started, rather not Adani group, but the way government is granting everything to Adani. Okay, like the airports going to them, the ports going to them. We cannot actually evaluate what this company is worth because that works on a very quantum scale. Like if a company has say two businesses or rather two airports, all of a sudden they have 10 airports. We cannot actually evaluate every company or every airport as such because everyone has its own pros and cons. So there, I think trading mindset worked for me, and I have traded in Adani Group stocks. I still am invested in Adani Ports, and will hold on to it for the time to be because as long as I think Mr. Our PM is in the position he is in, it's going to go well for Adani Groups. That's what I feel. But not every stock is good. Adani Power wasn't a good investment. Come on, the stock came out with an IPO in 2009 at 600 rupees or something, or rather at 6,000 crores of an IPO they came out with, couldn't generate revenues, and now they are at the same market cap. It needs some trigger, right? And power stocks, not everything is good. Tata Power is a better opportunity than Adani Power for me. So then legacy also matters. What these companies have done. We do a lot of background research, personally, and with my clients, we do research as to the company's ethics, their governance matters, whether they are good at what they disclose or no. And not everything is hunky-dory for Adani, in my opinion.
What about you, Anshuman?
Yeah, I also have this opinion that as long as the government is there, these guys will continue to get projects. Like even if you look at Adani Green, till 2025, they will have access to almost 10 or 15% of the total renewable energy to be produced in India, and that's why their books might not look good because as of now they are taking a lot of debt. But उनके projects and उनके contracts 2025 तक set है, and it's sorted by the government.
Correct.
So that way, these companies and the entire group has a very big backing by the government, which will make all these bets. Right now, whatever bets and whatever debt they are taking, the idea is that eventually all these contracts will be fulfilled and will make money. And that I think will be realized. We will see a day when Adani will be having like access to 40% of the airports. They already have like 7-8 airports.
No, more than
40%
that, actually.
Yeah.
Like the only solution that I'm sorry, but not to use any name. The only solution to everything that the government comes up with is privatization. Like they cannot think beyond that. And for privatization, they have only few options.
Yeah.
One is Mr. Mukesh Ambani's group, or it is Tata Group or Adani Group now, or on something like the Bermans, if you know the Berman Group, Dabur Group. So gradually, these people are going to only benefit from everything that our one-sided government thinks of. And the ultimate nail in the coffin is going to be the banks.
Question, okay? I put it below. I think what is your view on China plus one? This is something that a lot of people are talking about.
Yeah, it is very much real in terms of certain sectors like agrochemicals and specialty chemicals is one of them. But considering what China is, what capacity they have, let's be realistic. If we can produce one, they can produce 1 million of that. I mean, those guys are humongous. And because of that competitive advantage, that cost factors, they come in India. I have clients who are in the metal sector. These guys tell me that they come into India and sell at the price where they not even fulfill their costing. They have the capacity to dump things in such a low price. We cannot beat that. But if China goes out of hand, if these big countries feel that China is a threat now, they might look for opportunities or options. But Taiwan is also there. Vietnam is there. Not Vietnam as much, but Taiwan is there for them. Even Japan can, chip in. But China plus one, mostly certain sectors only. Sugar is another one, yes.
Yeah, I think the government has to step in and put all the duties and custom duties and import cost duties and anti-dumping policies should be created, or else we'll get screwed again like how we were getting screwed before in the past. And I think with the whole Make in India push, and I think they did that with aluminium and steel prices at one point, but I think that is something that is very, very, very important. But yeah, let's see how that works out. Awesome. I think there is no other interesting question. Yeah, I think there's nothing else. Because everything else is about crypto and I don't want to talk about crypto today. That's like the boat has sailed. Awesome guys. So I think we'll cut it here if that's okay with you guys. What's the time?
Yeah,
we'll cut it here. But again, both of you, I mean, Anshuman, Sushant, again, thank you guys for coming on this. I mean, it's just a chill session to talk about finance, and I think we spoke about something. I mean, a lot of things that are really deep. We started off with the IPO. We went to how inflation, Fed rates look at. Then we understood how Adani looks at things. I mean, lot of new perspectives for a lot of people listening to the thing. And by the way, audience also, a lot of you guys sitting on a Saturday evening at 7 p.m. coming and grasping knowledge. I think you guys are winning already. Or else a lot of people just Netflix and chill on a Saturday night. So again, you guys are awesome. Especially with all the new things coming out. So again, keep learning. Definitely check out both of them, Sushant and Anshuman, because both of them are doing some crazy stuff with respect to finance as well, right? So again, you guys, I think you should give a shout out for yourself.
That's it. So yes, guys. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you. And trust me, being the first conversation as well doesn't feel like one. It feels like we are in this together for a long time and we're discussing stuff just like normal friends would do. But yeah, it was very, very insightful talking to you. Even Anshuman's ideas were very, very, good to know. Very, everything he lost him. But then, yeah, it was a very nice session. And thank you everyone who has joined in today. And big shout out to my friend Shashank here. And I'm sure this guy's going to come up with crazy new stuff going forward for you all. And I hope to, be with him and take things forward from here. Really, really nice talking to you, man.
Thank you, man.
And Anshuman.
Thank you, Sushant. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Thank you, Anshuman. I think he dropped off, but thank you, man.
Yeah,
bye.
Bye-bye.